Nice, nice. Hi everyone, my name is Theo and you are on the XFounders channel. XFounders is a practice-oriented educational camp in which ambitious founders learn, share experience and help each other implement Web3 projects. More information about XFounders in the description. Today's release is a part of a series of helpful educational videos to help you master Web3 and launch products with a sustainable business model faster. Our guest is Preetam, CEO and co-founder of QuillAudits. QuillAudits is a leading Web3 security firm committed to securing blockchain projects. QuillAudits has secured over 700 or 800 plus Web3 protocols with its cutting-edge Web3 security solution. Today, together with Preetam, we will try to understand the topic of the Web3 project, blockchain security, and the importance of smart contract auditing. Hey, Preetam, nice to meet you here. Thanks for coming.
Hey, XFounders team. Thanks for having me. It's my pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
I'm happy to share more about Web3 security and my journey.
Sounds great. Sounds great. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself and about your company?
Sure. So, I started this company QuillAudits in 2018 at the right time when ICO was on the boom. Like so much scams were happening, right? So, and before that, I was a developer, worked with many startups, worked on like front end, back end, then virtual reality. Then I got into blockchain. Then I decided this is something new. Then I left my job, and that's how we started the QuillAudits. And the reason for is I was going through the Bitcoin white paper, and it was so amazing, like how we can build peer-to-peer systems, how we can remove the middlemen, and that's how we started. And yeah.
Yes, sounds great. And why you decide to work in this area? I mean, Web3, and yeah, what kind of things is inspiring you here?
So I was working in multiple startups. Like I worked around 4 years in like 4 different startups, right? So I always wanted to do my own startup, right? Like I'm having had that fire to start my own startup. Then after working in multiple technologies from all tech stack, like then I got into blockchain. Then I liked the technology so much, right? So I was looking for something to start, and I think blockchain was that start to do something, build something. I like it, and that's how we started it. And till now, we have worked with around 1,000 startups, and that it was our journey.
Yeah, yeah, so sounds great. And it's not everybody understand why the audit is really important. Sometimes it's difficult to understand what the right time to start thinking about this, and what the stage of startup development is like necessary to seek an audit of smart contracts.
Yeah. So the ideal start is always while you're building the architecture of your smart contracts, your protocol, right? So it is the right time to engage with any security company, because every company is having the secure guidelines, like what process, what method you should be using to build a secure smart contract. It should be not like that you develop your smart contract and now you're looking for the auditing company, right? Because we have seen many cases, after they work with any freelancer or any company, then we realize it and the contract is not good, right? And there are so many high vulnerabilities there. So always the right time is to engage the security company at the time you are when you're thinking about the writing the architecture of your protocol. And like if it is not possible, then again the right process, or you can say right time, is to engage when you just deploy on testnet, like before going on the mainnet you deploy on testnet, or maybe it is currently on your GitHub, right? So this is the right time to engage with any auditing company, so that before you're going live, it should be completely audited, tested, and should be secured.
On the testnet before the mainnet, usually.
Yeah.
Okay. And isn't audit absolutely necessary? I mean, there are a lot of companies that don't have any kind of, audit security things, and maybe you can see like some trends, and maybe a bit later it's must have things. What do you think about this?
Yeah, so I say like auditing is definitely 100% necessary, right? Like we have seen so many big protocols, right? Like and they are thinking that they just did a minor changes. It should be not reviewed by the third party, right? And then they got into some vulnerabilities or like any hacks, right? So auditing is always required, either if you are doing a fork of any existing DeFi product or NFT product. Always make sure it should be reviewed or audited by the third company, and definitely it's 100% important. And nowadays, the hackers, like the Web2 hackers, are coming into Web3, right? And now the hackers are also having the expertise of the Solidity language. At the time of 2017, 18, there were less hackers in this Web3 industry, right? But now these Web2 hackers know there is money in Web3. The code is the money, right? That's why they are more coming there, and they are trying to find out the vulnerabilities. The code is open source, right? So always the code should be audited, and we always suggest it should be audited by minimum 2 companies, not a one company, right? Because as a auditing company, we are just minimizing the risk of your hack or vulnerability, right? It's 100% necessary, and it's also necessary for the complex contract should be audited by 2 companies, or either you can use any bug bounty platforms like Immunify or Code for Arena. It's very necessary.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is actually interesting idea to use a few companies to to test each other.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Why not? And how is the cost of an audit determined for a company? What the price range? It's important to understand for early stage startups when they planning the roadmaps. Can you give some thoughts about this? Maybe you have an examples or things like that.
Sure. So all companies having their internal process to find out the pricing, right? And we are also having the process, and it's all like similar to other companies also. The budget depends on your code lines, like code lines and the complexity of your code, right? And the code lines are the non-standard. What do you mean by non-standard? That is written by the developer, like right from the scratch, right? Standard is the open Japanese libraries that already audited and tested. You are just importing them, right? So the budget depends on the code lines and the code line complexity. And usually we charge around for one line $15, and this one line is again a non-standard that is written by a developer, right? $15 is a non-standard code line we charge, and the budget. Then, like, if just assume you are having like 200 lines of code that is non-standard written by a developer, then it's around, you can do the multiplication, right? And we are having our pricing page live also, right? Anyone can put the contract, they can put the number of lines. Our this platform will tell you the pricing, how it will charge, right? So you just ask, like, that the company should know, like, how much the budget will be, right? So we made the platform so that if anyone thinking to get audited, they can get take a basic idea about the budget and charges. So we having that platform live, anyone can check it.
Interesting. You're counting like lines of the code, and it depends on the smart contract. Okay, but the average it could be, for example, from I don't know, few $1,000s to I don't know 100K. I mean, it's really depends of your product and product. Yeah, the price.
Yeah, like for the token contract, it's a very basic, right? It can be maybe $2,000, $3,000, and if it just assume it's a product like Uniswap, or right, it can be around thousands of dollars, like 100K and something, like, based on the complexity and the code lines.
Yeah. Now it's clear. And yeah, what else do you do for the Web3 community besides the audits? Do you have like your own initiative or maybe your own ideas how to contribute to Web3 founders instead of XFounders contribution? Of course, maybe something else. Yeah.
So we always believed in one thing, like, how we can keep supporting the builders, right? Even in the bear market, right? So last year, the bear market started, right? So we launched our one program, the grants program, Vaxi grants. We all gonna secure it. The Vaxi is a grants. We launched it. And under that, if you feel you are a founder looking to launch a product, but you don't have budget for the auditing, you can apply for the grants, right? If you feel you're building a great product, around that, through that our grants, we are giving the grants to those founders, and we are also partnering with multiple venture funds and incubators, right? So that we can give our grants to those incubators and venture funds also, right? This is the one initiative that we are doing. And apart from that, we are having Quill Academy, right? So we launched Academy around 3-4 months back. So what we are doing under Quill Academy, we are educating the developers, like, what's the best secure way of writing the smart contracts, right? We are doing so many sessions in colleges in India, like some IIT and some good colleges. We are educating the developers. And and under our academy, we are having multiple initiatives. Like one is the CTF, like and we every week we are launching challenges. The developers are solving the challenges, and they are getting some NFTs and cool rewards they are getting, right. And we are having some cohorts also. We did one cohort last year where we select around 10-15 good developers, and then we educate them personally, right. And last year we received around 500 plus applications. This year we are also going to launch the cohort, right. Apart from that, we are launching one thing that is Quill Red Team, right. Like in Web2 we are having red teams. So we are launching some new initiative, Quill Red Team, in the Web3, where as a bug bounty kind of bug bounty hunters will hunt the bugs on multiple platforms. And we are going to hire more auditors, like from these bug bounty platforms, or that will work with QuillAudits auditors. Or and through our Quill Red Team, we are going to help our clients or maybe external clients in more security way, right. So that multiple guys can work on the auditing, so that they can secure the product in a more better way. So this kind of initiative we are launched or going to launch.
Yeah, interesting. You also educate people. You can hire these people to help you to grow as well, and you help. Oh, yeah, yes, it looks like the a great way to attract more employees as well, and help spread like knowledge about auditing of smart contracts. And and it's interesting. And usually, how long it does to make an audit for your clients? I mean, I understand that it depends on the amount of lines, of course, or things like that. But if we're talking about $5,000 for this kind of services, usually this is What about timing here?
So like I just discussed, we are having one platform where you can put your code. It will give you a timeline also, like how much it will take, right? So like just assume if you are writing a simple token, it will take around 3-4 days or maybe 1 week, right? And if you're writing a NFT marketplace, it will take maybe 1 month, like for the auditing, right? And if you're writing a complex DeFi product, right, it can take 2 or 3 or 4 months, right, or maybe 5 months. It's a very complex DeFi product like Uniswap and anything. Like if you're writing something new idea in Web3, and it's a completely a new product, it can take more time also, like maybe 6 months, based on the complexity lines what you're trying to build, right? So it's completely depend on the code lines and complexity. It start from 1 week to 3, 4, or 5 months.
Okay, thanks. It's really helpful. Now it's like more clear. About timing. Okay, and if you audit a smart contract, how much does it protect from against hacking? I mean, is it like 100% guarantee or no?
So like many companies audited contracts, and they got into vulnerabilities and hacks, right? So as an auditing company, we are adding the disclaimer on the auditing reports also. Like we are not giving you the 100%. Like there is not going to be any bugs or vulnerabilities, right? We are just minimizing the risk, right, of getting hacked, right? And in our case, till now, none of our contracts got hacked. Like we work with around 1,000 companies till now, and again, we are just minimizing the risk. And we always suggest, like while we are working with a client and we feel this is a very complex contract, right, we always suggest client to go with the second auditing company, right, so that the bugs can be less, or the hacks can be minimized, right? And then we suggest to go for some bug bounty platforms and everything, right? So just minimizing the risk is not a percentage, like how much we can decrease it, just minimizing the risk of getting hacked.
And is your client like work with you later? I mean, is it possible to do they have any kind of needs when you provide this service, like again and again on a regular basis? For example, they make some new lines of code, and they, I don't know, give it to you, and you make an audit, and then back with some kind of decision.
Like this is like if they're launching the second version of the protocol, right? Like we have Uniswap V1, V2, V3, right? They're launching the second version of the protocol, then we engage with the client, and then we help in the auditing and security, right? And the second thing that what we do, we do them, kind of periodic audits also monthly, right? To go into your smart contracts to analyze the transactions, what kind of transactions are going, what kind of things or what kind of activities are going, like so that everything is fine, right? So one is if they're launching a new version, and the second is monthly. We are giving the reports like everything is fine in your protocol.
Okay. Thanks. And and finally, what advice will you give to aspiring Web3 founders, in modern condition?
So what we use this as Web3 founders, like if you're thinking to build something new in Web3, right? So always hire full-time guys like developers with you, right? Like because we have seen many cases, like if you hired someone from like freelance website, like Upwork or anything, and that guy was doing some, after we ordered the contract, and while he was deploying the contract, he did some changes in the contract, and then he just gone with the money involved in your protocol, right? So always hire the full-time team. A team should be having the skin in the game, right? Don't hire from any platform, because maybe you're putting your life saving in the product to build it, right? Because I have seen some cases, some founders message me sometimes, like they put all the money in the in the product, right? And they don't have the money now, like now the banks are following them, right? So don't put your full money in the Web3. Like you feel you want to build the next maybe Uniswap or maybe Polygon, right? Try to minimize the risk again here, right? That's some advices. And then again, if you're launching something, try to make sure go through proper product market fit, go to market strategies. Again, the growth strategies, right? You should be know how you can win the game, because the winning is more important. Like anyone can start a company or product, right? But you should be having the processes, how we are going to win the game, who's your competitors are, go to market strategies, everything. That's how you can win the game.
Yeah, sounds great. Thanks for advice, especially for skin in the game for your co-founders and your full-time employees. Yeah, so sounds great. Okay, thanks. It was Preetam, CEO and co-founder of QuillAudits. Thank you for the interview. Thank you for your thoughts. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, XFounder teams. It was great to hear. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.